Hmm. Locked up, but they won't let me out. Ooh, they won't let me out. Wanted to leave, but John Mental ain't let me out. Ooh, they ain't let me out. Napoli said, come play Champions League, but they ain't let me out. Ooh, they ain't let me out. Todd said you'll play every minute in the Premier League, but they don't let me out. Oh, they won't let me out. Locked up, but the Glazers won't let me out. Told them I don't like all your FC, bro, but they won't let me out. Oh, won't let me out. Locked up. Hope my real fans get me now. Oh, get me. Man, Eric told me it's okay if they don't let me out. There's a couple of trophies I'm trying to get now. Then I was like, oh, okay. Someone who gets me now. But now I'm in the dugout and Eric won't let me out. Oh, he won't let me out. I'm locked up. Talk about playing Thursday now. Oh, oh man. Ronnie, you know what's crazy? Like I went from like over empathizing with Ronaldo to be like, move, Ronnie, get out the way, Ronnie, get out the way. Eric's trying to rebuild and you getting in the way. Move, Ronnie. Eric's trying to cook and you prefer to buy takeaway. Move, Ronnie, get out the way. Walking down the tunnel, that's not the way. Supporting all your teammates, that's the way. Being egotistical, that's not the way. Eric's trying to build and you in the way. Move, Ronnie. Get out the way. Like, I'm sick and tired of it. Like, I mean, you know, the moment, like, like, yo, first of all, big shout out to anybody that's ever changed their mind. I had some additional information that like led me to be like, yo, I do not need to be empathizing with this guy because right now he was offered the chance to get in and he was like, nah, you know? Oh man, that was really disappointing. I love being thinking you're the best and demanding the best from yourself and everything, but there's something also called humility and realizing that, oh, it's a team sport. Forget even just being like the badge, the club, you know, he obviously, you know, spit on that, but come on, now, come on, Ronnie. Shit, that was something else, you know. And it's good now that he acted like a under 23, and guess what? He's with the under 23s. Big shout out to Eric Ten Hag for handling that with class, handling that, you know, the way. Now I'm curious if tomorrow or when is the Chelsea? Yeah, I think the press conference should be tomorrow. So obviously, all the Ronaldo questions are going to be coming. I'm curious if he's going to adopt the Arteta tone of being like Arteta switched with Obama. He was like he never said his name anymore. He was like the player. He referred to him as the player. He was like, the player is training alone, blah, 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 blah. The player, and I was just like, okay, okay. So that means conversations about the club and the player, you know, they've really, really, really like happened. And so like it's gonna be interesting to learn because you know our club always leak shit. Can we just get 1 month of just focused, chill, silence while rebuilding? What is that too much to ask? It's the football power hour. Is that too much to ask? You chilling with me Botswana Poppy, who's just asking for just some calm, just a few weeks of calm in Manchester United. Like, come on now, is that too much to ask? Big shout out to you also for just making it through to the end of the week because we're pretty much on Friday now. It's Friday, and also big shout out to anybody that you know hits the like and subscribe button. This is for you, and also if I have to transition to this because it's part of the title. If you've had sex with your ex, hit the like button. I didn't say it was right, but I say it's kind of just like what this Ronaldo relationship is. Ronaldo should have, it felt like the last season was just that night, when it happens, or that day, or whatever, the moment it happens. And then the things that ensue after is pretty much what's happening right now. This push and pull thing that's happening, this power struggle going on between Ronaldo and it's Ronaldo between Ronaldo and the club, really. And Ten Hag is just caught in the middle of it. That's how I see the situation. It's between Ronaldo and the Glazers. And now he had reached a boiling point, a tipping point where he felt like, oh man, he actually, if he didn't want to play at all, he wouldn't have come that day. If he knew that, like, oh, I'm a sub and I don't play 45 minutes, he wouldn't have come out after 45 minutes. But he chose to come out thinking he's going to get 30 minutes at least, you know? But hey, I know, yeah, before you hit me with the who does he think he is? Boy, he deserves 30 minutes. We're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, who knows that he has maximum 2 years left. He knows this is the last, these are the moments that he has left for the audition for what he's going to do next in his career, how he wants to close down his legacy. And so all that obviously ended up being something that pushed him over and put him in that tipping point. I am not defending him. That's the title of the video is Can't Defend Ronaldo, because why? The guy really just doesn't see other people the way you need to see other people, because it's a team sport. It's something where you need to say, I'm the best, but also by myself, I'm nothing. And Ronaldo does not have that second part. At least that's what his actions and his reactions and his apology seem to be suggesting. Let's really read it up quickly. Just like look at. I'm gonna read the Insta. Let me see. Let's see if I can read the Instagram post and be like, it's like okay. So it's like this. Cristiano says, as I've always done for an apology letter to a lover. Listen to this, okay? As I've always done throughout our relationship, I try to live and love you respectfully. That hasn't changed. I haven't changed. I'm the same person and the same lover that I've always been for the last 20 years, loving you in an elite way and respecting every important role in and respecting you has played an important role in my decision making process. I've loved you from very young, and the older and was this the older and experienced and I've had other older other other people that have influenced me to be a better lover. I think that's what he's trying to say. So he says, I've always tried to set the example myself, and unfortunately that's not always possible, and sometimes the heat of the moment gets the best of us. Right now I just feel that I have to keep working hard in our relationship, supporting you and loving you in any given way. Any given way. Giving into the pressure is not an option. It never was. This is us. We must stand Soon we'll be together again. Huh. Smiley, smiley, wink, eggplant. Woo-wee! Anyway, so it's like it feels like the point that I'm trying to get at. It feels like one of those apologies that's not really an apology. It's more like this is how I felt, and you know, Kanye shrug a little bit. It's got those undertones in it, and there's nothing like I'm sorry. And he has to. I hope Eric, after he finishes his suspension and he does his fine, I hope Eric makes him puts him in detention, stand on one leg and say, I am sorry, I humiliated the team. I will never humiliate the team again. But, put myself first. And because we can't have this type of behavior. What is Ronaldo Jr. going to think in the under 23s or whatever? You know what I mean? The one who's playing with Rooney Jr. That's who Ronaldo should be sent to because he really pretty much behaved like a baby, Anyway, so I want to also just say back, to close the sex with the ex tangent by saying that the communication between Eric Ten Hag and Ronaldo is giving me some vibes of like things were not really clarified a little bit. Let me tell you why I'm gonna come up with this observation. I could be wrong, but here is a hint. Okay. Boom, boom. Share screen. Ten Hag was asked, what's the vibe? How do you gauge Ronaldo?
When we are 4-0 down, 5-1 down, 6-1 down, and I don't bring him out of respect.
Out of respect, right? I don't bring him. That means I make decisions.
At the same time, Ronaldo,
someone
who obviously wants to play, so
of substitutions. A big part of my considerations and substitutions is Ronaldo if he's on the substitutions. I mean, that's clear, duh.
From the conversations that you have with him, what would you gauge about his mood at the moment? How happy and
I never usually give credit to the terrorists, to the journalists. But this question here, how do you gauge? It's not Ten Hag's job to be gauging every player, but it's also Ten Hag's job to be gauging every player because you're supposed to be taking care of the players, not only on the pitch, but that psychological, emotional, physical well-being. You have to take all of those things into consideration. If you ignore them, then you're just pretty much not being a well-rounded manager. You're not being a good manager. You have to take everything about a person into consideration when you are working with them. That influences your selections, and that influences why Ten Hag was probably trying to just protect the game. He was just being like, oh, I'm thinking defensive substitutions, and then it was like, oh, okay, now the game is over. We got like just a few minutes. Let me put Ronaldo in, But Ronaldo is like, what are you trying to put me in for? If we concede a goal for him here, like when I come in, but big man, you trying to make me look bad? Come on now. The team been playing nice. The team been crossing the most balls I've ever seen in the first half this season. We've been putting balls in the first half versus Spurs. We put in crosses that we should have been putting in while we had Cavani and Ronaldo and Matic. By the way, right there crossing for Fred, crossing for Rashford. Rashford wasn't even there for most of them. He was like, oh yeah, of course I'm supposed to be in the back, between the two center backs. And the crosses will be going there. And Ronaldo is sitting there salivating. When you a hungry beast and you throw it and you're playing with the food and it's right there and Ronaldo's like, come on, man, Eric. Put me in, man, at 55 minutes if you really like me, if you respect me, put me in. At 59th minute, you should have been telling me I should have been warmed up, But Eric out here being like, oh, no, 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 no. This is his response to how he gauges Ronaldo's well-being.
Ronaldo is someone who obviously wants to play. So, from the conversations that you have with him, what would you gauge about his mood at the moment? How happy? And if he is unhappy, does it make sense to keep a player like that around the club?
Okay. Let's listen to the response.
He is unhappy. So he is happy. He's training well. He's enjoying. I think everyone is training well. There's a good spirit and vibe on the training. So that's not the point. But it's important because it's a base to work well.
It's a base to work well, and that's where Eric is focused at. He's like, that's not the point. Ronaldo is not the point. He's trying to, but that journalist is trying to remind Eric that, hey, buddy, there's something brewing over there. You're not going to tell. Ronaldo hooked up with the ex and was like, so I need some clarification. And you know what Eric Ten Hag been saying in the press conferences? Of course, Ronaldo is in my plans. Of course, Ronaldo is part of the squad moving forward. That's the vibes. And then he was just like, yeah, that's not the point. I'm focused on the team, which he should, but also there's a balance. And in this moment in time, I think the balance was not particularly right. And Eric did not clarify to Ronaldo what he is. He went, because Ronaldo is used to be an indispensable player to the team, but Eric Ten Hag sees him as a backup striker, not a rotational striker. Ronaldo could have nearly settled for sometimes rotational, but important player in the squad. And that rule was not clarified. And you know, if you're gonna be like, what are we? What are we? And she's like, you're important. Moving forward, you're important. How are you gonna feel? How are you gonna feel if she tells you, or he tells you, or they tell you you're important, but they don't clarify the role? Yeah, that's pretty much, you're gonna walk out of the dinner because, hey, you like you're like, what's the point? You gotta get your point across. You gotta express yourself. And obviously he expressed himself and he pretty much just flipped the tables over, and this relationship is gonna be sour and real sour moving forward. And there's also rumors that like he's just fractured the relationship with a lot of members of staff inside the organization. So Ronaldo, it's going to be hard to defend you moving forward, my guy. I just hope you get a new place, new home in January, and the club terminates this situation mutually. That's the ideal thing. But anyway, big shout out to you for listening in. Don't have sex with your ex. Love more, though. Be kind. Drink more water. Sleep more. Hit the like button. Subscribe. And also remember the words of Eric Ten Hag when he was talking to that boy. Before I just want to dispel there's some crackhead who said this is a Glazers conspiracy. This is a Glazer conspiracy, my man. They're trying to deflect things from Glazers out to now we're chanting CR7 out. Come on now. Come on. That's the same guy who's probably not vaccinated, or who probably just said, oh man, they're trying to wipe us out. We're going to be gone before 2024. He, and here we are. That's the same person. You know what I'm saying? That's Mr. Simon talking. over me the whole time. But you know what? It's all good. I wasn't saying anything important. The important thing that I was saying was that be like Eric Ten Hag when he said to Fred, "Are you ready?" And Fred said, "Gaffer, I am always ready."